Keyshawn, it's me. First Takes in the house. Holla at your boy. Woo!
There's Derrick Henry trying to get the big guy going, and he's going. Derrick Henry, touchdown. Give it to Henry. This is just 1-2 from Derrick Henry. It's Tommy Sweeney for the touchdown. Derrick Henry into the second level and into the end zone. Touchdown. If they don't get this here, could be the ball game. Allen leans forward, and I don't think he got there. Naquan Jones stuffed the hole.
It was a tough battle. It's always tough playing these guys. We found a will to win on all three phases.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into First Take back on the East Coast. Super Bowl champion Keyshawn Johnson, Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Camrose, and I'm so hyped today. Not just because the NBA season tips off, but just walking around the building, it feels like we're back to normal. October, best month in sports. Plus, we got all the analysts here. A lot happening.
Well, I'm incredibly excited, but let's pump the brakes just a touch.
What?
We were in L.A. yesterday, you know. Yeah. We it's a little cold here in New York City.
That's all right. I mean on the sports front, we got Mike Wilbon joining us, Malika Andrews.
You're absolutely right. I'm just saying,
we're working.
It does hurt a little bit.
Yeah, y'all both a little dark, you know. That tan, that sun beaming down on y'all in L.A.
It's beautiful. What's happening right here?
Dodgers.
Atlanta owns you.
2-0. It's not on. We got Walker Buehler on the mound tonight. We're good.
At home. You know what?
Baseball,
I like your school spirit, but come on.
In baseball, you're going to go down 2-0 when you're on the road.
Somebody got to get on you a little bit, though, because, you know, you got on the shirt. The shirt's cool. You couldn't buy a jersey. I mean, a little cheap for you. I mean, you could buy a jersey.
Can we put a blazer
I'm just saying, you could have put a jersey.
This is First Take. This isn't your radio show.
All right,
I have a jersey and I have a hoodie, but I decided to go T-shirt today.
Jersey next time. Jersey.
All right.
Let's do it.
I guess you can do that when you're champion.
About
last night, gentlemen, how about the Tennessee Titans pulling off the upset in primetime, taking down the Bills, who some called the most complete team in football, and an MVP favorite in Josh Allen? It all came down to this final play. Tennessee stuffed Josh Allen's fourth down sneak in the final seconds to seal the victory by 3 on Monday Night Football. Josh, was that the right call?
Didn't work out in our favor, obviously. Didn't have the greatest footing. It happens. It's game of inches. The play before was pretty close too. Didn't turn out in our favor today. We were 2 of 5 in the red zone. We can't do that against a team like this.
In that situation, is that something that you would go for 10 times out of 10, or is that a gut thing and kind of a situational thing? How do you kind of process?
Yeah, I mean, felt good about our chances. Had a chance to win the game right there, and we didn't get it done.
Okay, I'll start with you. Mm-hmm. Was that the right call to go for it?
Absolutely the right call. You're that close to scoring a touchdown. If you convert, you're that close. Why kick a field goal and tie to go into overtime when you got a 6'5", 6'6" quarterback that all he has to do is lean forward? We've watched Tom Brady do it for years. We've watched other big quarterbacks do it. He lost his foot. Okay, you can second guess it at this point in time if you want to. So when you're looking at it as a whole, Molly, and you're saying to yourself, why would they do this? They're taking themselves out of contention to get a first-round bye. Not at all. Everybody within that conference has an L, a loss. The only team that's in front of them right now are the Baltimore Ravens because they got one loss. Cincinnati's going to come back to the party. So when you look at the entire season, if they continue to keep winning, then they'll put themselves right back in contention to have the only bye out of the AFC. So I'm fine with the call. You want to win. And on top of that, it shows down the line in the future that the coach believes in his players. So therefore, the players will believe in the coach.
Yeah, it might hurt Josh Allen's MVP stock, though, that he lost that game on Monday night. I'm just telling you, they might bring that up later.
I don't think he was ever going to get that anyway, though.
He's in it, Stephen A.
I respectfully disagree with you, Keyshawn.
Why?
I'm about to tell you, man. I'm about to tell you. Show just get started, bro.
Okay.
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
I don't disagree with them going for it on fourth down. Okay. I disagree with the call. There's a reason you saw Emmanuel Sanders on the sidelines looking so frustrated at the end of the game because it wasn't that you went for it on fourth down. It was the play that you called. I understand you need a half yard. I get it. I understand it. But what I'm saying to you is this. Everybody and their mother knew that play was coming. And I think the transparency of it, even though he slipped and that could happen to anybody, and I totally understand that. The bottom line is, since you knew it was coming, you could have tried something a little different there.
No,
I believe they could have.
No, you got your offensive line that are hogs up front.
Okay.
All they got to do is push.
Okay.
What I would say is I didn't like him going off the left side.
Okay.
Probably should have dove over the top.
Fine.
But the sneak,
listen,
Stephen A., there's no other call on when you got that much. There's no other call that you need to make.
You can sit up there. You can do a quarterback sneak, or you can sit up there and throw it to the corner.
No.
Or stuff like that. You can't do something like that. You can't do it because they can pull it off. They got the weapons to pull it off. Not only that, like you said, you going to the left. You just should have bowled ahead. This is not Derrick Henry running for you. This is not the offensive line blocking for him.
6'6", you jump over the top.
Okay, that's fine. You could say that, but in the end, hindsight's 20/20, and I'll give you that. All I'm trying to say is the execution of it. I have no problem with them going for it on fourth down. Yeah. Absolutely going for the win. Why kick the field goal and play for overtime when you think you could close them out right now? I got no problems with that. I'm just talking about the play that they called.
I understand.
That was
you
issue.
didn't like the play. I don't like you not liking the play because you don't throw the ball on inches. You're trying to get too creative and tricky when there's no need to. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the stadium knows, okay, it's going to be quarterback sneak. The offensive lineman, the defensive lineman, we all know that. But what the offensive lineman got to do is get the push. If he doesn't slip down going on the left side, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. We'd be sitting up there with a brilliant call by Sean McDermott. There's no question about that.
All right.
So I don't want to second guess it at all.
Hold on, Molly. Hold on. Here's what you got. You got Devin Singletary. He ran for 27 yards. You got Zach Moss, who ran for 24 yards. I'm saying
they had 80 yards rushing the whole game.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. Because they had the 80 yards rushing all game, because your offensive line may have been suspect against this particular Tennessee Titans defense on this evening, I'm saying that's the reason why I'm not trusting that quarterback sneak.
It's a sneak.
I understand that, but it wasn't a sneak in that particular situation. Everybody and their mother knew it was coming.
Sneak,
everybody and their mother knew it was coming.
If they would have,
that's what I'm saying.
If I was on that team and they would have called anything other than the sneak, you'd have seen something. I would have actually.
Yeah, and what else?
Sneak the ball.
And what else? Because you're going to speak their mind. You're going to speak their mind. Listen,
you don't turn around and hand the ball 7 yards deep to a running back.
Maybe you don't do that. Maybe you sit up there and fake a handoff and sweep to the outside. I'm saying it's a.
Well, he could have. I mean, if you wanted to get creative, maybe a naked bootleg would work.
All I'm trying to say is that you don't have much of a running game last night.
No.
So I'm not trusting your offensive line just to give me that push. I'm not trusting it. I'm not trusting it because
he doesn't fall and slip. He gets the first down.
That's true.
Let's move on.
We're not even having that conversation.
By the way, gentlemen, they have 3 wins coming up. I'm looking at their schedule. Yes. Dolphins win, Jags, Jets. So you talk about cupcake schedule right there.
Yes.
Let's focus on King Henry. He has been a man amongst boys. 3 TDs, 143 yards in prime time. Stephen A., can Derrick Henry win a Super Bowl?
No. And I think he's an absolute stud. I think that Derrick Henry is the closest thing that I've seen to Earl Campbell. Them young whippersnappers out there don't know who Earl Campbell was. Earl Campbell used to play for the Houston Oilers, all right, before they moved to Tennessee. Earl Campbell is one of the all-time great running backs in NFL history. This brother asked Bosworth and others about Earl Campbell and how even though Bo Jackson ran over him, but that's a different story for another day. The point that I'm trying to make is this. Earl Campbell was a power running back. You look at Derrick Henry, the way he's just a mammoth of a man. He's built differently, and it's just, you see guys, they go after his legs. They don't even think about trying to touch his upper body because they know there's no hope there. This guy is virtually impossible to take down in a one-on-one situation. He's just that formidable. But having said all of that, because of the manner in which the game has changed, Keith, when I think about the Mahomes of the world, the Allens of the world, I think about obviously Brady, who's been around for a couple of decades. You think about Aaron Rodgers and what he brings to the table. We're praising Justin Herbert. We're looking at Dak Prescott and stuff like that. You're not going to win if your offense is damn near totally reliant upon a running back.
But see, that's not true, though, Steve.
Go ahead.
That's not true. Derrick Henry can win a Super Bowl. Here's the problem, though. Tennessee's defense. The defense is such a problem because what he does is portable. When you get into the playoffs, you get to moving around to them Kansas Cities, them Clevelands, and Baltimores. You got to be able to run the ball because the weather's going to change. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes able to throw the ball all over a lot. Just look at the Super Bowl winners of the last several. The quarterbacks are pedestrian in those Super Bowls. They're not lighting it up.
Right.
They're not.
But how they get there?
But they played and got the right situation in the playoffs. Derrick Henry was in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago doing the same thing that he's doing now, except the defense let him down. The defense let him down.
They have a defensive-minded coach. I don't understand why the defense hasn't lived up to what we expect.
You and me both, Molly.
The three of us, because Vrabel, the defense should be consistently better. But here's what I'm saying, Key. When you look at Derrick Henry, of course, running the football effectively, you can chew up the clock. You can methodically beat a team down, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, if you got an elite defense,
he gets stronger in the fourth quarter when he's running the ball.
If you got an elite defense, that definitely helps. But what I'm saying is, the way the game is structured in this day and age, once upon a time, you had a lot of offense that was doing that, and you were just looking for that elite running back to really carry the day. That's changed dramatically. And as a result, when you see the style of play that has been implemented, when you see the way defenses are compromised because of rules and regulations that just protect the quarterback at every turn, those are the reasons I say that a running back, no matter how stellar they are, is not going to win the Super Bowl for you. It's got to be more than that. That's all I'm saying.
They got some skill positions on the outside.
I agree with that.
Still throw the
I'm just talking about the principle of running back. Just the principle of a running back.
You can run the ball and win with him. You can.
The Titans sneakily 4-2. Guys, another topic I really want to get to. So all Lamar Jackson has done is win and set records this season. Yet folks question him as a quarterback. His team has the best record in the AFC. They're 5-1. He's beat the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Raiders. That's a resume, Stephen A. He has the legs, but does he have the arms? Here's Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson firing shots ahead of their matchup Sunday.
Man, please.
He's a running back that also plays quarterback, I think. He's very dynamic. You just got to contain him as best you can. We'll get more into that game plan next week.
Now, we're going to find 55, and we're going to do something to him.
Okay.
We're going to embarrass 55 out there. Logan, we're going to find him.
Okay.
But we're going to embarrass you with his arm, and we're going to target you. Well, I don't know if you're going to cover the linebacker, cover the tight end, backs out the backfield. Whatever the case is, we're getting ready to find you. We ain't going to say anything. Since you think he's a running back playing quarterback, I think I would take that. I think I want my running back to do exactly what my quarterback is doing. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And a dude completing 70-some% of his passes, man, it's ridiculous.
Is he being disrespectful?
I don't even like having this conversation, Molly, about what the hell is going on with him.
The question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just pointing the question.
By the way, just a little technical, because you are a pro, but I got to remind you something. The camera will find you.
No, she pointed.
I was pointing because
what is she doing?
No, because I wanted you to answer the question.
I like to talk to people.
I appreciate that. Do you think we're disrespecting Lamar Jackson? Are folks disrespecting him as a passer?
Absolutely, because it goes all the way back to college.
Yes.
When it starts with college.
Where he was drafted.
And, Molly, on top of that, they can't get out of their mind that he's not a traditional-looking quarterback.
Yeah.
6'5", stand in the pocket tall. He's doing the same things Josh Allen is doing. Add up the numbers. The numbers are the same. He's doing the same exact thing. But because he doesn't look like that and his athletic ability takes over, people just be like, he can't throw. Well, what do you mean he can't throw? What are you talking about? Yeah. He's completing 70-some% completion percentage. It drives me nuts.
It's actually 67.5%.
Well, it might have went down. It might have went down. 67.5.
The other day, he had 4 touchdowns, 85% completion percentage.
Okay, so there you go. Now add it up. Molly just gave it to you.
And he was setting records. Do you need any more numbers, Stephen?
I don't need any more.
I have my computer.
And wait, hold on before either one of you finish.
To help y'all out.
If Hollywood damn Brown was catching the balls against the Lions instead of dropping them,
it would have been over 70.
It would have been over 70.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the weapons like other people. Carry on.
No question. Gary, thank you. Thank you, Kendrick Perkins. Thank you so much.
Kendrick Perkins' new show tips off today as well.
Here's the deal, Keyshawn.
Yes, tell me.
Will you stop?
Stop what?
Stop being so damn sensitive. Here's the
How
deal.
am I sensitive?
I'm getting ready to tell you.
All right.
Lamar Jackson is 35-8 as a starting quarterback in the National Football League.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all know he could ball.
Okay.
The brother's electrifying.
Yeah.
And by the way, 6 years, $258 million by Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson deserves at least that. Because he's
more than that, actually.
I said at least that. I said at least. I mean, because the brother's box office. We know he's great.
Okay.
But I'm talking to a Super Bowl champion.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is, I want to see it in the postseason. Stop.
You're moving the goalposts.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No,
Stephen A. Yes, you are.
No. See, that's what I mean by sensitive. And that's exactly why I'm getting on your sensitive. Molly, your witness. My standard don't change. When it came to Derek Carr, and I had to check you on that, Mr. MVP, Derek Carr. I don't
Did you
care.
just see him play this past weekend?
Really? That's where we going? That's where we going? With the Denver Broncos?
He had one bad
game. Listen. All I'm saying, actually, they lost 2 in a row, but that's a different subject for another day. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this. The standard does not change. When we talk about greatness, we're not just looking at what you're doing.
Stephen,
I know
no, I'm not going to let you do me like this on
He's
national
24.
TV.
He's 24.
Chinese.
What was Peyton Manning like Aaron Rodgers in the beginning of their
career? The dude is in his
He's a
4th year.
baby.
He's been in the playoffs every damn year. Last year, he won his first playoff game. And you fit to sit here and tell me that the dude can't ball out again in these playoffs this year.
Couple of things.
Stop, man.
I'll let y'all talk now. It's my turn.
No, but you've been talking.
I have not. Not when it comes to this. That is not true. That is not true. It's the Keystone Show.
It's a liar.
It's the Keystone Show. It's the Keystone Show, man.
You looking at me.
No, I'm not.
You just was talking.
And you interrupted me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm quiet.
Because when it comes to Lamar Jackson, listen.
You got the floor.
The last time, 2 years in a row, he goes to the playoffs. I understand that. He's struggling.
Well,
He's
3
young.
years.
He's young. No, I'm saying before last season.
Okay.
Before last season. Then last season, he goes to Tennessee, he handles his business.
Yes.
We like, okay, he got that monkey off his back.
Yeah.
Then he goes against Buffalo, and he drops 3 points. 3 of the 4 playoff games he's played, and he hasn't completed 60% of his passes, and they've lost those games. What I'm saying to you is this. I'm not questioning his greatness at all, but it becomes more validated, cemented, dare I say, when you perform in the postseason. All I'm saying to you is that you can't tell me I'm moving the goalpost when every single year they're playing for postseason success. Every year you get judged, Joe. That's the way it goes, Keyshawn. And the fact is, if I'm looking at Lamar Jackson, I'm saying this. You're 35-8. I know what you can do in a regular season. Same thing with basketball. When Russell Westbrook was dropping triple doubles like they were going out of style, I said, okay, I know what you can do. I see it all the time. But I need this because you Russell Westbrook. I need this because you Lamar Jackson. And Patrick Mahomes is 26. Josh Allen is 25. They're not going anywhere. So what I'm saying is, again, we're going to measure all 3. More so Josh Allen.
Man, I don't like you, man.
Patrick Mahomes already got a Super Bowl title. But you got to do that. That's what I'm saying. And you love me. So don't lie to America because you love him, you're broad. Stop it. But go ahead.
You move the goalpost. Every single year he's going to get better. He's not even in the middle of the season right now, for crying out loud.
No, we're projecting.
And on top of that, I project that he's going to do fine in the playoffs based on what I've seen the first 6 games of the season.
And I'm saying,
how could you not?
I'm saying, I'm assuming the same thing. The difference between me and you is that I haven't ordained him to be this individual come postseason time.
Man, he's the best player in all of the NFL, man. Listen, it ain't even close.
He's spectacular, and he deserved his MVP that he got a couple of seasons ago, and he might deserve it again this year. But I'm still going to sit here and ask what you going to do in the postseason.
Some of the best quarterbacks we had those same questions about.
Fine.
Let's just talk about.
And they had to answer the question.
And let's talk about Peyton Manning. We talked about that nauseum, and then eventually.
Right. Time out.
We talked about Lamar. Can he beat Kansas City? He eventually did it.
No. Give me a regular.
Come on now.
No. Yeah, brother, I'm glad you brought up Peyton Manning because remember, this is Peyton Manning coming out of Tennessee, number 1 overall pick.
I get it.
The expectations, and we just inundated him with what you gonna do come postseason.
But he eventually got it done.
And until he got it done, we said no. You're not there yet.
You continue, not you. I don't want to blame it all on you, but people continue to disrespect this dude to a whole nother level.
And I don't think he should be disrespected because he's sensational. I know that. All I'm saying is with Lamar Jackson, as far as I'm concerned, I ain't questioning
fix your tie.
But not everybody's Patrick Mahomes, Stephen A.
Is that what it is?
Some people are Peyton Manning, and it takes a little bit of time.
I'm not questioning the brother's greatness. Yes, I'm not questioning the brother's greatness. I'm just saying it don't matter to me what you. I already know how great you are. I'm still going to ask.
Can you not learn from the regular season and take it to the postseason?
Absolutely.
So what you think he's going to do?
I think he's going to do it.
Okay, so we shouldn't even been having the conversation.
I was just saying. Well, you were the one that was all sensitive about it.
He needs to see it. He has no faith. He has no faith.
I can
he
tell.
needs to see it after the fact. Anybody can crown somebody after the fact.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Do champions get crowned ahead of time? Thank you. Rest case. Case rest.
Okay.
Case closed. Mic drop.
Yeah,
yes.
in your mind. It's Stephen A's world, where I live.
Champions don't get crowned ahead of time.
Oh, goodbye.
I feel bad for Logan Wilson, though.
Yeah,
He's going to run a lot of highlights.
He's going to get his feelings hurt.
We're finally talking Liking who?
Smith impression. Impression? Oh, no. I just know he scream all the time.
Stay off the weed.
I am having a very bad day.
I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood.
I am in no mood.
I don't know what they think they're going to do this year, but I don't see it. Kawhi? Fourth quarter?
LeBron James in the fourth quarter.
That's blasphemy.
Blasphemy!
I love when he says that.
They got Carmelo Anthony. Yes, he's a great scorer, and I love him because he's from New York.
Shout out Stephen A. Smith too, man.
Nobody can do Stephen A. Smith but Stephen A. Smith.
Wait. Hold on.
Wait. I like when you say that.
Oh, damn. Oh,
Now
my
that
goodness.
is good.
Oh, my goodness.
That is good.
I just saw Dwight Howard at the Wilder Fury fight, walking around bragging about his six-pack. I got to confess, I told him I needed some help. He gave me some tips.
He got you down.
I know.
That was good. Go ahead.
The Dwight's pretty damn good with that. I didn't know that. I ain't gonna mess with him.
The great Michael Wilbon is here.
My brother.
I got all the big guns
It's
today.
good to see you all, but most of all you, Molly.
It is
Thanks
so
for
good
having
to
me.
see you.
Hello, you.
And you're Michael, you're going to be on NBA Countdown this year?
He dragged me along.
Incredible.
Stephen A. has this to blame.
Well, we're lucky
or
to have
credit.
you gracing our screens in the evenings.
It's good
as
to see you.
You know, she said, you gonna be on NBA Countdown. Just notice me sit tall, right?
Obvious. You're right.
I haven't seen the man since before the pandemic.
I know, it's been a while.
Stephen A. is going to be on
Been too long.
NBA Countdown. First show Wednesday?
Yep, Wednesday night from the Garden.
That's right. From Madison Square Garden.
We're excited.
We
Big
here.
time.
We here.
Big time.
Maybe we can get Key to come along, hang out with us.
No.
Come on
I gotta
now.
get up too early, man. I watch the. Plus, I don't really want to watch the Knicks anyway.
I knew that was. I see.
I just don't want to watch the Knicks.
I threw that lob up and he caught it, Stephen A.
Tonight is my team, the Warriors and the Lakers. I'm good.
All right, let's talk about the Lakers. Exactly what you just said. Lakers, Warriors, let's go. Is this a Western Conference Finals preview, Michael?
I'd give it about a 10% chance that that they're both in it. I mean, look, the Lakers are the favorites in the West. That's understandable. Mm-hmm. But it's like any great car. I don't care how great the car is, how expensive it is. It could be a Lamborghini. Once it breaks down, it tends to break down again. I don't know. I would almost bet against the Lakers being healthy. And look, I think LeBron can have another great season like he was having last year. But what happened last year even? I just wish great health for LeBron and Anthony Davis. And then we'll see Key where it falls. But once you have that kind of breakdown in sports, you know this. You know how many guys you share in the locker room with who are great. But once they had that first injury, even if they were guys who never got injured previously, it tends to happen again and again. And that's what I'm worried about.
Well, I think if you're talking about the Warriors in this particular instance, Clay, things of that nature, I'm going to say, yeah. When you think about the Lakers, you think about LeBron's injury, it was not a soft tissue injury. Somebody fell on his leg.
Right.
So the chances of that happening again, I mean, that's slim to none, I would think. And then AD, obviously, he's got to stay healthy. And then Westbrook has been healthy for the most part
until last year.
Until last year. But I don't. They take all those guys are top three guns. They take care of themselves.
Right. Let me help y'all. Let me help y'all. Let me let America know what Keyshawn ain't saying. You know, I've been in LA a little while. And so as a result of that, I mean, I've grown to become knowledgeable about the kind of things that can happen in LA. Particularly just because it's LA in the sunshine. I didn't bring into account what can happen to you when you win it. And you the toast of the town in LA. The Lakers came in the last season. The Lakers came in the last season as the reigning defending NBA champions. And let's call it what it is. They were feeling themselves. Okay? Now, it was a mistake to let go of Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee.
Absolutely.
All right? Definitely a mistake there. You didn't have Russell Westbrook. But I'm talking about the rest of the crew there outside of LeBron, because LeBron is always taking care of himself conditioning-wise. And I think that's what cost the Lakers last year. They were feeling themselves. They didn't have the right approach in the offseason. They didn't come in the last season ready, and it bit them. That's not going to be the case this year. I view this, Mike Wilbon, you talk about 10% chance. Hell no. I got it much higher than that, over 50%.
Both teams. Both of them.
I believe, I said this months ago, I'm predicting that the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, the assumption is that Klay Thompson will eventually be back, because we hear they're going to hold him.
They need him. They're going to need him. They can't win without him.
Without question. Without him, that's not going to happen. But I'm assuming Klay Thompson's going to be back by January, February.
Okay.
If he's back by February, that'll give me about 3 months before the playoffs.
Yes.
Golden State Warriors going to the conference final.
I would love that.
Against the Los Angeles Lakers.
But you know what, Stephen A?
Okay, so you just discount Phoenix. You don't even say about that.
No
You're going to get rid of you don't think that they've grown from playing in the championship and making a deep playoff run.
And there are 3 young players that are going to be a hell of a lot better.
3 young players are going to be better.
But they're still young, even though I believe in the leadership and the floor generalship of CP3, one of the greatest point guards ever. Of course, I'm a Devin Booker fan. I love Monty Williams. DeAndre Ayton not getting that contract.
That hurts.
Not agreeing with that contract.
I agree.
That hurts them. That's a distraction. And I'm telling you this right now. I'm going to remind y'all, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are 2 of the top 5 shooters in the history of basketball.
Well, one of them's one.
Let me tell you, and one of them is one, which is Steph Curry. And let me tell you something right now.
Klay, though.
He's the shooter.
No, ain't nobody. It's Klay gonna be Klay.
But Klay as a defender.
But even if you shooting, you still got to position yourself, right? You ain't gonna stand there and do that.
But Key, if this were a Russell Westbrook that suffered this injury, I'd be very concerned. Because his success is predicated on his athleticism and explosiveness. That's not Klay. Klay just needs some space to launch, and it's money. I'm just telling you right now.
To defend, to be Klay, he was one of the top wing defenders. Can he do that physically now?
He still got to defend, too.
Yeah, I understand. But I'm just saying, everybody forget. Listen, you won with Zsa Pachulia and Andrew Bogut and people like that. Now you got Wiseman. I mean, you got a couple of cats there as well. Listen, Golden State, y'all can sleep on them all you want.
No, we're not sleeping on them.
I believe the Lakers.
Stephen A., how many times we get LeBron and Kobe?
Excuse me?
How many times do we get LeBron versus Kobe?
We didn't get it.
We didn't.
We didn't get it.
So the problem that if I had the tape of all the times you and I both said at the beginning of a season, here's what's going to happen, because these are the kingpins. And they were the kingpins. One still is.
No, I didn't say that.
I didn't say they were going to be.
I didn't say they were going to be. Then he says 50-50.
I'm just saying one may be there, one or the other may be there. But I'm not sleeping. You know the team I'm going to say is going to break through. He's going to go crazy.
Yeah.
The Utah Jazz may finally do this for the first time since Stockton Malone.
Stephen A.
Look at and, getting Rudy Gay. Yeah, but they got a better bench now, right? Clarkson.
I like Clarkson.
I mean, we didn't expect.
And I love Donovan Mitchell. D-Wade 2.0.
Yeah. Okay,
D-Wade 2.0. I get all that, but there's always somebody missing come playoff time with them.
There is. You're right.
Kawhi's coming back.
Nah, they're not. It's not their time.
Let me tell you something right now. I would pick Denver. Here's my problem with Denver.
If Murray was back early.
No. It's not that.
What?
Joker.
The Joker is this dude is phenomenal against everyone but Anthony Davis.
But AD.
But AD. Yeah. That's his problem.
All right. At least,
and that's why I'm in.
At least the Lakers might not have to deal with the Nets at full strength. And here's why. Kyrie Irving might not be able to play for the Nets this season due to vaccine mandates in New York City, but he's still staying active. Did you see this Sunday playing a game of pickup football with some guys at a high school in New Jersey where he seemed to be playing wide receiver? He was running some routes, Keyshawn. You know about this. Could have helped him out there, playing a little 4-on-4. The Nets are currently the favorites to hoist the Larry O'Brien. Stephen, I will start with you on this. First, do you want to react to this before I ask the question? Do you have any feelings about Kyrie? Is this much ado about nothing?
I don't want him out there playing football with nobody. No, if you want to get some exercise, go shoot in the gym by yourself, man. You my $1 billion guy, whether you on the team and active right now or not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Poor optics as well, yeah.
It is poor optics, but what else is new? Clearly, the optics are not a concern that he has. And once again, as I've reiterated on several occasions this week, Wilbon, Key, it's not about the vaccine. Because, I'm double vaccinated, y'all double vaccinated, et cetera, but people have their own reasons for it, and we got to respect that, okay?
Not really. We don't have to.
I understand. Okay,
I don't.
I feel you on that. I guess what I'm trying to say is this. In the end, what it comes down to is this. Look at this dude's resume. Every year there's an excuse not to play. This dude does not.
Not reliable.
He's not reliable. He doesn't want to show up to work. He wants to do everything on his terms. And I'm not calling him lazy.
No.
Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying. I'm sure he's
not reliable.
Working hard, working on his game. Sean Marks and the Nets swear that this dude came in training camp in shape. They think he was ready. So I'm not trying to imply that. Kyrie has other priorities other than basketball.
Understood.
And he wants to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it.
How must that frustrate Kevin Durant at this point?
That's right.
Who has one priority?
My only problem with Wilbon is this.
It's called availability.
But you got your hand out for somebody else's money. That's my problem. And that's where he loses it with me. Because he don't want to show up to work until he wants to show up to work. He'll show up when he wants to.
All right, let's go on the court with this, though. I'll start with you, Michael. What is the Nets ceiling without Kyrie?
I still think it's the finals. I still think, look, we saw what James Harden could do at point guard. Remember, he played it so well, Kyrie went to him and said, you're the point guard. And he can be. Listen, do you know Kyrie for his career has averaged fewer than 6 assists per game? The most amazing ball handler, a magician.
Yeah.
Now, you mean to tell me you can handle the ball and see everybody like that and see the court like that, and you can't average 6 assists a game? Djokovic averaged more than 6 assists a game last year. So I'm fine with James Harden at the point. I understand they might have some extra issues with depth and all kinds of stuff when you get to the finals. Jalen was talking about that last night here, and he was very persuasive. But they can get, to me, they can win if James Harden and KD are healthy and James has the ball. I'm okay with that.
No, I'm with Wilbon on this one. But so when I look at the NBA as a whole, Molly, most teams got 2 guys, 2 superstars. They got 2. And then everybody else is kind of role players. It's an anomaly to have 3 with Kyrie. You don't really get 3. You all get 2. Right? The Lakers got 3.
The Lakers have 3.
The Lakers get 3. The Nets had 3. Golden State had 3.
Yes.
But for the most part, you get 2 superstars.
Right.
And then you get a third guy that is,
near
somewhere, and you go back in your days in Chicago.
Yep.
You had Pippen and Jordan, and then you had a little Rodman in there and some other players, and that's pretty much it. So I think the ceiling for them is going to the finals. No question about it. Now, will Milwaukee have something to say to that? Will Philly all of a sudden emerge and have something to say to that? Will Miami all of a sudden step up and have to say something?
It's my dark horse, Miami.
I look at Miami. I'm not ignoring them. I look at Milwaukee having, the proverbial monkey off their back. Giannis winning the chip. Middleton showing out the way he did in the finals. This is a team to be reckoned with, and you got an elite defender in Drew Holiday. So we can't ignore that as well. But I'm still going to say, without Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets should win the championship. They're that lethal. And here's the deal. This is the thing. Kevin Durant is just sensational. We all know what he brings to the table. We're forgetting how sensational James Harden was last year. Out of shape. Out of shape. At the point. And still, look what he was doing. James Harden is on another level. And for people to think that last year was normal, no. Last year, he was still putting up decent numbers, and he was out of shape and playing out of position for the most part, which really isn't out of position for him. James Harden is going to be ready. He's going to show you from open and tap. This brother can drop 40 anytime he wants to.
More importantly, drop a dozen assists.
And a dozen assists. He's that special. And so the combination of those two, the pickup of Patty Mills, you reacquired LaMarcus Aldridge. Blake Griffin can still play because he ain't in Detroit anymore. So suddenly he reminded us he can dunk now. He can dunk again. 6'9", once jumping
Doesn't their size bother you? It bothers me, Stephen A.
Excuse me?
The lack of size at 5 and the willingness to be a 5, not a stretch 4, but to actually be down in there doing some dirty work.
I was going to say, when you said that they can still win a championship, I was going to say, well, if we got the Lakers going to the finals, at least I do. Now, when you start getting into positions and you talk about stretch 4 versus 5, well, we got a 5 in Dwight Howard. We need to implement him into the lineup, who still is a rim protector. They don't necessarily have that. Right. That's the problem.
Well, see, the thing about it is this. We were saying the same things last year. And if Kyrie Irving doesn't get hurt, they beat Milwaukee.
Or if James is healthy. James wasn't healthy.
They beat Milwaukee. And so my point is, what's changed now?
Or if KD was wearing a 13 instead of a 16 shoe.
How about that? Exactly. So what I'm saying is, it's big toe. That's it. Right on the line. The point is, we're still talking about
East is better. Huh? The East is better.
Yeah, a lot better. Listen, but the creme de la creme, the reigning defending champion Milwaukee Bucks, even though one could argue they're a little bit better, whatever, they're the same. They're the champions. I'm just saying to you, even the other teams that get better still have some room to go to catch Brooklyn.
Agreed,
and I don't believe that's the case.
Okay.
Nets going to the finals if they help.
Real quick, because we have you here, Wilbon, I want to get into this. How do you think Ben Simmons is going to fit with the Sixers?
I don't.
Okay.
It's about Philly. I mean, the fit, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. He knows it's better because he had to play road games. He's familiar with performing in Philadelphia.
Why
Listen,
do you hate Philly? The fans?
what happens if he has a...
It's just a lot of just...
Don't be soft.
No,
like
I'm
you can't
saying they
handle it.
just get on your nerves and annoying you. Imagine if you had to play there, like
Half the
you said,
schedule.
Wilbon, when you told them, no, never mind, now you coming back in and said, take me back. In the first
He didn't ball last year to their satisfaction.
What if he did the same thing he did last year, this year?
How about game 1 or 2?
Ain't gonna work, right?
How about game 1, Key? He passes up shots and they are in
Or he
trouble.
missed shots.
You know what the bigger thing is? You can't win when you have this kind of drama. One NBA team, I don't know, in our lifetimes has won with this kind of drama. It was only one guy. It was Dennis Rodman,
Chicago,
and the Bulls. It was different. It was
because they liked him, and they
totally agree, Key.
And they allowed Dennis Rodman. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you did. This is the point.
They allowed him to do whatever.
They made the concession to him.
It wasn't the on-the-court drama.
This is different, man. I don't think NBA team is too small. The locker room's too small, too intimate. That when you got this kind of thing going on, whereas you versus the city, it's the wrong city to be versus.
Last word here, Stephen A. We're getting a break.
It's two-part to one issue, the Ben Simmons issue. This cannot succeed in Philadelphia because Ben Simmons walked away, and no matter what his intent was, as far as the fans were concerned, you blamed us for you.
Yeah.
And so because you blamed us for you, the only way you could resurrect yourself is to essentially ask for forgiveness, swear that you want to be there, and go out and ball. He ain't gonna ask for forgiveness. You understand what I'm saying? Right. He doesn't want to be there. Yeah. And based on his body language in the huddle the other night, you basically said to them, you don't give a damn. They are going to eat him alive.
Plus him and Embiid. What's the deal with the two of them?
They're going to eat him alive. It's going to be difficult for him to walk the streets.
Wilbon sticking around here with us. Still to come on First Take. Stephen A. ranks his top 5.
Ha-ha! What's going on, everybody? It's the start of the NBA season, the 75th NBA season in history, in American history. We love it. We can't wait. It all starts tonight. Lakers, Warriors. But let me be very, very clear. We got to talk about the best 5 players, the top 5 players in the NBA right now going into the 2021-2022 season. I'll let Keyshawn give his little basketball thing. I'll let him. You better be respectful. And, of course, my man Wilbon, I got to deal with him, too. Let's go to number 5 on the list. Give it to me, please. Bam! Damian Lillard. Excuse me, how many times are we going to ignore this brother because he's in the Pacific Northwest? The brother averaged 32 years ago on 40% shooting from 3. Last season was 28.8, 39% shooting from 3. Single-handedly, this brother carries the Blazers franchise. He's durable, he's reliable, and my God, is he a closer? You damn right, that's top 5 because he closes the deal. Let's go to number 4 on the list, please. Give it to me. Bam! Steph Curry. Why? The greatest shooter God ever created.
All time.
Period.
All time.
There has never been a shooter greater than Steph Curry. Off the dribble, stand and still pull up. It don't matter. This brother is something special. The greatest shooter in the history of basketball. But shooting ain't all it takes to be great. That's why we go to number 3 on the list. Please give it to me. The reigning defending champion, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Why? Because he closed the deal in the finals. He's a champion. We know the brother is good for 28 and 12 on any night. He defends. He blocks shots. Obviously, he's lethal in the open court as well. And we learned in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, he could actually hit some free throws now. And I hear he's improving on his jump shot. Of course, he's number 3 on the list, top 3. He ain't top 2, though. Give it to me, please. I'm sorry. King James, hold your horses. You're on the Mount Rushmore of the NBA. In over 75 years, there has not been 3 players in NBA history, as far as I'm concerned, better than you, LeBron James. But Father Time's creeping up. It ain't there yet. I still got you going to the finals. You're one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. But you gotta be number 2, particularly when you can't even hit 70% from the free throw line and your jump shot is streaky as opposed to consistent. That has a lot to do with you being number 2. And why you're not number 1, because of this guy right here. The one and only KD, Kevin Durant. If he wanted to, Wilbon, this dude could retire as the greatest scorer in the history of basketball, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if he wanted to. That's how lethal of an offensive guy this guy, Kevin Durant, has got to handle. 6'11", 7'6" wingspan, got range of Steph Curry, got range of Klay Thompson, and everybody else. This is what he does, and that's why KD is that dude. I got KD, LeBron, Giannis, Steph, and Damian Lillard. Those are my top 5 players entering this NBA season. And by the way, this damn list ain't fluid. I'm calling it what it is right now.
Stephen A., I ain't going to argue with your 5 at all. If I was going to have a 5th person there, and I'm not arguing against Dame Lillard, who has sent people home.
Yes.
I mean, he in the playoffs. Get out. You're done now. Bam.
Yes.
James Harden.
Yes,
guy
man, what are you doing?
That I might have at 5.
No, I'm going to walk over there. I just want to know what you're doing.
Well,
man.
You want me to answer that question real quick? James Harden, love James Harden. He would be on this list of his top 7. The reason I'm not putting him over Dame, he ain't sent people home like Dame.
That's a good tiebreaker. That's fair.
He hasn't sent people
That's
home
fair.
like Dame.
That's
Look
fair.
up, look it up. This is basketball, baby. This is basketball.
So
This man has sent people home.
So when you sit here and you tell me a guy that can play the point, off the ball, everything, he can't make this list?
Oh, no.
Because the only dude up here, obviously, that can really play the point is LeBron.
Let me break this down. Damian Lillard can play the point in the 2.
He's shooting like Steph. It's not the same.
Hold on, tell me.
Not traditional point guard.
He can do what what James Harden does, with the exception of he closes. He closes. He has a reputation that's there.
Wait, can you ask somebody that was interesting?
Embiid. What about Embiid?
Oh, please. Could you stay healthy, please? We ain't placing his skills.
So he finished number 2 in the MVP voting, but that don't means nothing.
Coming into this season,
okay.
Then listen, Joel Embiid is big time, arguably the best big man in basketball between him and Jokic. We get all of that. But when you talk about top 5 players in the game,
Stephen A., I got one more for you.
He don't touch these dudes.
Well, what about his running mate? AD.
Okay, you know. Listen,
what about AD?
Down year last year. He's got something to prove. Normally he would be on this list.
So if he
but he don't close like this, brother.
So if he decided to play the 5 most of the time instead of the 4,
and it's healthy. I don't know yet. Because of what these dudes are doing.
Now that Chris Paul has taken the team to the finals, we know what he did with Oklahoma City the previous year. Took a team to the middle of the playoffs. That should have been a lottery team. Chris Paul can't go on this list based on taking a team to the finals that hadn't even been in the playoffs
phenomenal.
for 10 years.
Chris Paul is phenomenal. Let's take into account if AD was not hurt, if LeBron wasn't a bit hobbled while playing, they wouldn't have got past the Lakers in the first round. We know this.
But they beat them. And they beat them in LA.
I understand that. But listen, are you telling me you'd rather have CP3 than Dame?
Depends on what
Dame.
Depends on what kind of point guard. Depends on who else I got.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about traditional point guard.
Right.
Like you don't even have a traditional point guard on here.
We got to get in a commercial
Ain't nothing
break.
wrong with this list.
Stephen A.
Y'all need to stop.
Stephen A., you're letting a football player pair up with a basketball.
He's not tearing up. He's just being a contrarian. That's all he's doing. Please.
All right, Michael Wilbon, always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. You got me all revved up in the morning. I'm normally asleep. He calls me. I can't even talk. 7 o'clock in the morning. Wilbon, what you doing? I'm asleep, Stephen A.
Guess what?
Keith calls me to be on radio. I'm asleep.
You're back
Y'all
to
got
the
me
night
crazy.
Michael Wilbon
Molly,
will
it's
be on
great to see
NBA
you.
Countdown. Always great to see you.
My
Along
brother.
with this man,
Thank
Stephen A. Smith, Jalen Rose, and Mike Greenberg. You guys have a great cast. You're going to have a lot of fun. And that tips out, again, Wednesday, 7 Eastern from MSG.
I guess I won't be on NBA Countdown based on when I get your list.
No, you won't. No, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
If LeBron wins the title this year, wins NBA ahead of opening night. And of course, plenty of football left to talk. Lamar Jackson with Mina Kimes. We'll get into that shortly. Stay here with us. All right, right now, though, guys, Josh Allen nearly pulled off the win last night for the Bills, but slipped on 4th down, and the Titans escaped with the home victory. Even with the loss, according to Caesars, Allen's odds still second in the MVP race. Kyler at the top of those odds, and you can take a list. We'll pull those up for you in a second. Hello, Mina Kimes. Where is she? She'll be coming on the screen shortly.
I'm right here, and
okay.
I want to be clear. I'm not making this face because I'm seeing you guys. I'm delighted to see you. I'm making this face because I'm seeing those odds for the first time, and they are bananas. That is a recent MVP odds. That makes no sense. And I want to be clear about something coming off of last night. Josh Allen is not why the Bills lost. He actually didn't play poorly, but the notion that he should be an MVP favorite over the likes of Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, and Tom Brady? What are they like? Who's making these odds? That makes no sense. Maybe someone's trying to get in on some sweet action with Lamar because that does not check out with me.
None at all. You talk about MVP, most valuable player.
Yeah.
Now, if Josh Allen isn't there, they do got a backup in Mitch Trubisky that could win some games for him. Lamar Jackson ain't there. They ain't winning nothing. Okay, you think about Tom Brady not being there. They ain't winning nothing. Nothing at all. Kyler Murray, nothing.
Wow.
They're not winning anything. So in the end, I don't like the list nor the odds. So maybe they just throwing it against the wall and hope it stick.
Yeah, maybe so. I totally agree with y'all. I don't understand what the hell is going on with that. Lamar Jackson definitely deserves to be ahead of Josh Allen as an MVP candidate. Kyler Murray deserves to be ahead of him. Dak Prescott deserves to be ahead of him. And Tom Brady. Absolutely.
I didn't even mention Dak Prescott. Think about what the Dallas Cowboys looked like a year ago when Dak Prescott wasn't in there. You take those 4 guys away from their teams, and we'll see what they look like. You take Josh Allen away.
Hold on, I will say
pull
this.
Pull up the odds one more time, guys. Can we pull up those odds one more time?
I will say this. I will say this. I don't know what Buffalo will be without Josh Allen either. He shouldn't be ahead of those other guys.
I didn't say that they was going to win. I didn't say they was going to win the AFC, but it's not like they're going to all of a sudden just fall apart.
Hold on. Right. Wait, I got one question for you, though, Mina. I realize that they didn't lose the game because of Josh Allen, but do you think losing Monday Night Football to the Titans, do you think that hurts his MVP odds?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, he is not even in the top 5 or 6 of reasons why they lost. To me, that starts with the defense and their inability to defend play action down the stretch, some of the issues on both sides, frankly, in the trenches. But Josh Allen did make some mistakes in this game. Beyond the fumble, missed some open receivers, some moments where he was pressing, maybe he should have been picked off. Again, it was a good game. It was a good performance. But we are at a moment right now in the NFL where there are 3 or 4 quarterbacks who are playing at such a high level. The margin for error is thin if we're having an MVP conversation. And I'll add one more thing. Josh Allen wasn't even the best player between the 2 teams on the field. Derrick Henry looked more like an MVP than he did last night, and I didn't see him on there.
Well, Josh
it's just so hard for a running back to win.
He did throw for 353 yards, and Keyshawn and I were looking at each other because nobody has mentioned Aaron Rodgers.
I'm like, we forgot about A-Rod.
They've won 5 straight. Now, he hasn't been putting up prolific numbers, but the dimes that he's been throwing in key pivotal moments cannot be ignored, just reminding us what a bad man he is. But Josh Allen did have a good game. We can't sneeze at that.
Perfect segue. Let's get to Aaron Rodgers' former coach. So yesterday on First Take, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, said his one concern with Dallas is the coaching. We all know Mike McCarthy has had some suspect clock management this season. Keyshawn, do you trust Mike McCarthy to get them to the Super Bowl?
They ran off 5 games in a row with W's after losing on opening night against the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Absolutely. Until he shows me different, I ain't got no reason to believe anything other than that. Show me something, because I know everybody points to clock management, clock management. He ain't cost him no games. He hasn't cost him anything. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. It didn't happen, though, Mina. And I understand people feel a certain way about Mike McCarthy because last year, also what went on at the end with Aaron Rodgers, the Dallas Cowboys brand. Stephen A. can't stand the Dallas Cowboys. It eats him alive.
They're fans. It
make
me
eats
sick.
him
It make me
alive.
wanna throw up.
And Michael Irvin told him to make sure to punch that ticket. What I would say, though, what Mike said yesterday is make sure the ticket says refund just in case.
That's what I said. Make sure the tickets are refundable. I hope.
Way to go out on a limb.
You know what? That's one of the rare regrets. That's one of the rare regrets. I have.
Anything can happen.
Hold on. That's one of the rare regrets I have doing First Take. That I told Cowboy fans to get a refundable ticket. I'd rather they not. Go ahead and invest and lose your money. That would make me feel even better about the Cowboy fan.
For that.
I'm just.
Keyshawn, if you're going to go there, buy the tickets.
No. Buy the tickets. No refundable. No refundable tickets. Go ahead and lose your money. Lose your money. Like a damn slot machine.
You have problems. Mina, I'd like to hear
right.
Steven, we've disagreed about the Cowboys for a long time. You finally come around on how good they are. But I'm with you here, and I think I'm opposed to Keyshawn because I think Mike McCarthy is the single reason why I harbor some hesitation about Dallas making it to the Super Bowl. And Key, you're right that some of his clock management snafus have not cost them games, but we've seen this guy's body of work at this point across, now multiple teams over the course of many years. We're looking at the game yesterday where, again, not only clock management issues, which you can point to, and yes, that is on the head coach, and yes, it will probably happen again, but I actually find some of his decisions on fourth down puzzling as well. Going for it early and being aggressive and then not later in the game. There seems to be no rhyme or reason. The one defense I will make of Mike McCarthy is the fact that he has ceded responsibility as a play caller, that he's put trust on both sides of the ball in his coordinators, who I think are doing a fantastic job. But when we are talking about Super Bowl and the difference between, you know, the Cowboys and the Bucks, or potentially the Cowboys and the Rams or the Cardinals, these little mistakes by a head coach when it comes to clock management, timeouts, and going for it can cost you. That can be the difference between a championship and a Super Bowl.
I'll give you the last word, Keyshawn. Here's what I want to say to you. You said it hasn't hurt them yet. Stop. The competition the competition matters. Going up against Jalen Hurts, going up against Sam Darnold without Christian McCaffrey, going up against Daniel Jones and those pathetic Giants, going up against...
Be nice.
Yeah, whatever. The point is, they are what they are. And then going up against a rookie and Mac Jones, that's entirely different. I'm saying that's entirely different than going up against Tom Brady, going up against Aaron Rodgers, going up against Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. Going up against teams like that. What I'm saying to you is this. You can't sit up there and look at it and say, well, you know, it hasn't hurt him yet. It'll hurt him against an experienced squad that's more playoff ready. Right. I'll tell you that, Keisha.
So your problem, you got a problem with him calling timeout, trying to make a decision on whether or not to go for a kick or field goal. So people got a problem with that. They say clock management. When you on 3rd and 25 pushing the ball down the field, and all of a sudden you get a big chunk, now you call a timeout because a decision needs to be made as a group to go for it or kick the field goal. So people got a problem with that. He makes the field goal. That's a problem. You got a problem with him going for it early in the game in a hostile environment on the road in a trap game. They don't get it. People got a problem with that.
On your own 34-yard line?
Yes, you do those sort of things in certain situations, depending on the pulse of the team. At that moment,
give Mina the final word, and then I got to get
really
in the break.
Quick with the timeout. Yeah. Again, if you're giving a quarterback time totally unnecessarily to come back down the field and beat you, that is the kind of mistake that will cost him, like Stephen A. said, against an Aaron Rodgers. That's all I have to say.
Okay. All right. Mina, the analysis is always spot on, but I'm also liking this whole look, the chains as well. Mina's sticking around. Still to come here on Ravens' outstanding play. Baltimore's defense shut down Justin Herbert while Lamar Jackson and the offense ran all over the Chargers in Sunday's 34-6 win. The Ravens are currently in the driver's seat in the AFC at 5-1. But one person still has questions about Lamar Jackson. There he is.
What do I always say about the quarterback spot, Molly?
The court?
It's about accuracy. It's about accuracy. And by the way, when it counts. Lamar Jackson has played in 4 playoff games.
Okay.
3 of them, he's failed to reach 60% completion percentage with his passes. Lamar Jackson has been dominant in the regular season. When we start talking about you and we use words like greatness and what have you, what solidifies that? It's what you do when it counts.
You know, Mina, I'm not even going to ask you a question. Just go, please.
I find the discourse around Lamar Jackson so frustrating sometimes because it's almost like playing whack-a-mole. If it's not one thing or it's another. I'll start with what we just watched, Stephen, talking about the playoffs. It's a fair criticism, but this guy's played 2 full seasons in the NFL. 2 full seasons. Let's not count the first one. Cut him some slack. I mean, your beloved Kyler Murray hasn't even been to the playoffs at this point. It's always, can he play from the pocket? Even though in 2019 he ranked 2nd in QBR from the pocket, he's crushing it this year. Can he lead a comeback? Even though, again, most quarterbacks struggle with comebacks. Finally, that narrative has been shot this season after he's led these incredible comebacks. It's like the goalposts on Lamar Jackson get moved so many damn times they're in the bleachers at this point. I feel like we can't just appreciate his greatness, is constantly nitpicking over and over. Steven, he's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Let's appreciate what we're seeing.
See, I feel like I want Mina to keep going and just keep going and talk to Stephen A. little bit more for me, because this is what I tried to tell him earlier on the show. You keep moving the goalposts. Yeah. 1 minute, can he, all the way back to college, Mina. Can this guy play the position? Well, that was answered. Well, can he make it to the playoffs? That was answered. Then he gets an MVP. Then he wins a playoff game.
Right.
Oh, he can't throw. They need to readjust the offense so he can become a better passer. Well, the dude's completing like 68% plus completion percentage. And if the receivers just catch the ball, it'll be even higher. So now, like you said, Mina, 2 full seasons. Discount the first season, and we're not even halfway through this season. So I don't understand why this whole question marks about what he could do when every single year he just keeps getting better. Just accept it and roll with it.
You finished?
I'm finished.
You finished me?
Yeah, I'm finished.
I'm finished. We're ready.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all are just killing me with this. You're making me laugh. You really, really are. Moving the goalpost. First of all, you got the wrong brother because I loved him coming out of Louisville, and I didn't think he should have went 32nd overall. But evidently, NFL aficionados thought so because he was the very last pick in the first round of the NFL draft. Last time I checked, Baker Mayfield was picked before him. Josh Allen was picked before him. There were a few people picked before Lamar Jackson. Let's take that into consideration. Why did they do that? Because they had questions about him. Let me finish. Not me, them. I like them coming out of Louisville, okay? That's number one. Number two, when we look at him and we say, okay, the guy is 35-8 as a starter. He's been absolutely electrifying. We know that he can run with the football. He's the greatest runner with the football out of the quarterback position we have ever seen in NBA and NFL history. This dude is approaching his 3rd consecutive 1,000-yard rushing season. So it's not like people should be delegitimized for pointing out the brother's mercurial talents as a runner from the quarterback position because he's done what no one else has done in NFL history, running the football from the quarterback position. Nobody's ever done it. Now, the only thing that I consistently bring up, as I do with every quarterback, I brought it up with Tim Tebow. I'm not comparing the two.
This?
No, I'm not comparing the two.
No, you didn't.
No, what I'm saying is I have been one who has religiously pointed to accuracy from the quarterback position towards everybody. Now, Lamar Jackson's completing 67% of his passes. The guy wins football games. All I've ever said is what I continue to say. He's great. He's box office, pay the man, etc., etc. But when I bring up the playoffs, why do I bring up the playoffs? It's not just because of Lamar Jackson. It's because who he's going against. And when everybody points out his age and his youth, I point out the fact that Patrick Mahomes is young and he's in the same conference. Josh Allen is young and he's in the same conference. Joe Burrow's coming maybe. He's in the same conference. Baker Mayfield is there, even though I don't think Baker Mayfield compares to Lamar Jackson. He's in the same conference. There are people that you're going to directly have to go up against.
That don't change anything.
And I'm pointing to what I saw in the postseason. The last time we saw him in the postseason, he scored 3 points. You're going to have to do better.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that.
You named a bunch of quarterbacks that have won a game in the postseason. He won a game in the postseason.
Josh Allen was in the AFC Championship game.
Okay, so is he going to make it back to the AFC Championship game this year?
He might. He might.
Okay.
But he already has. What I'm saying,
his schedule was put before.
Wait a minute. Listen. We all understand. But at the end of the day, I'm saying to you, it's not like Lamar Jackson's the dude on the come up and they're Tom Brady. No, they're damn near as young as he is. They're there. You're going to have to go against them.
I want to say, Steve, I think you're making a fair point about the fact that Lamar Jackson has not been as accurate in the postseason in a very limited sample size as he's been at times in the regular season. I talked about the 2019 MVP season. You could throw out 2018. But one thing I do want to add, you've been bringing out completion percentage. His wide receiver core, which is worse, by the way, than every quarterback you've mentioned, has had key drops in every one of those postseason losses, and that matters. That's why you can't just take completion percentage. Yeah. I think right now, going into this season, big part of the reason why I'm so confident about the Ravens is I think this passing game, and not just Lamar Jackson, the entire group, Rashad Bateman coming back, Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews playing some of the best football of his career, they look better than they have Lamar Jackson's entire career. It's a team sport, Steve. You know this is a team that's been killed by drops in playoff games. You know that.
I'm sorry, Mina. I got to get on you, and I damn sure got to get on you. I'm getting ready to tell you how. After every playoff loss, all of y'all were on the air talking about how he needed to improve his accuracy.
No.
I ain't get that out of thin air.
No.
Y'all did it. You too mean, huh? You said that.
I did not ever say he needed. He is what he is. They got to catch the damn ball. They got to catch the football.
I'm not
when
saying
you
that.
drop the ball,
I know they dropped the ball, Keyshawn. You didn't bring up that he needed to improve as a passer when he lost those playoffs.
No, he doesn't. They got to use him. They got to use him a certain way.
Here's what I want to say, y'all. Like, it's week 7. We're having a conversation. Steven, you brought up some legitimate concerns about the playoff performances, questions. Is he improving passer as a passer? He has. You guys are watching what I'm watching.
And he's going to continue
to improve. The question was, can Lamar Jackson lead the Ravens to the Super Bowl? And I feel with great confidence he can.
I'll make you all smile. Stephen A., it's fluid. Don't worry, it's fluid. And that's where we're going next, everyone.
It's cool. It's cool.
Fantastic debate. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right. I'm just saying, let this be open. I mean, we talking about
you got
me.
double teamed.
I seen me to question Lamar Jackson sometimes. I've seen it.
All the best get double teamed.
I'm not a fan.
And don't get me started with you. Ooh, you, Keisha. Ooh. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm going to be watching.
Derek Carr did pretty good last week.
All right, let me get into commercial break, guys. What's better than one Stevens A-list? How about another? Find it if Lamar and the Ravens make Stephen A's top 5 NFL teams right now. It's fluid. Plus, Malika Andrews joins the show shortly. The new host of NBA Today on whether she believes the Bucks should be the favorites this season. Keep it locked.
This is Giannis Antetokounmpo, aka the Greek Freak, and you're watching First Take on ESPN.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn unlimited 4% cash back on dining out, 4% on entertainment, 4% on takeout and popular streaming, and now 3% at grocery stores. Earn unlimited cash back for going out or staying in with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
You only get one first bite of the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich, so you better make it the best one, which is this one here. Oh, but it's also this one. Oh, but this one's a good-looking bite, too. Try the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich today for just $3.99. It's finger-licking good.
Hey, you! Domino's is giving away $15 million in surprise frees.
Other delivery apps add surprise fees. At Domino's, we're giving out surprise frees instead. When you order delivery online, you could be surprised with free food. I love it! From Domino's.
You usually can't see pollen, dust, or pollution. But you breathe it all in every day while you're driving. And your only line of defense? A basic factory cabin air filter. Most ordinary factory filters only block dust, but it's easy to replace your basic filter and upgrade to an advanced PureFlow cabin air filter. PureFlow's advanced multi-layer antibacterial filtration technology blocks up to 99% of airborne contaminants from entering your vehicle, including dust, pollution, pollen, and odors. PureFlow cabin air filters with activated charcoal are also designed to boost the flow in your ventilation system, blasting clean, healthy air throughout the entire car. You can easily install a new PureFlow filter in minutes, all by yourself. Visit pureflowair.com to order yours today. PureFlow. Breathe better air.
How do you make the razor that took the world by storm even better? You reimagine it, re-engineer it, rebuild it, and you unleash it. Introducing MicroTouch Solo Titanium, the full-body precision electric razor that trims, edges, grooms, and shaves any hair, anywhere. Now with titanium-coated stainless steel blades for more precision and durability. Snap on the guide to tame and shape your beard. Keep stubble trimmed exactly to your style. Snap off the guide and instantly remove unwanted hair anywhere. Edge sideburns, beards, and goatees with even more precision than before. Safe to the touch, cordless and rechargeable with a non-slip grip and an LED spotlight. Get yours now at solotitanium.com or call 1-800-225-2906. Advanced cutting performance, perfect full body grooming, MicroTouch Solo Titanium.
Are you ready for some foot?
Hey, voiceover guy, football's back, Let's act like it.
You know what, Justin? You're right.
Are you ready to hang out and cook food in a parking lot again? Are you ready for 18 weeks of NFL action? Ready!
I was born ready.
Yeah, baby. Are you ready for all the fans to come back and cheer as one?
I'm on the Facebook privacy team. If you look at the way regulation has evolved, it's been not as quickly as technology. Federal legislation can give platforms guidelines so we can have a consistent approach.
When life happens, you have choices. You could gloss over cracks or relax while we bring the fix to you. You could try a battery hack, or we can keep you in charge. You could set it aside or come inside and let us get to work. So why go it alone? Visit your local U-Break iFix today for fast, easy repairs. Your tech fixed by Assurian.
Is right. It's time for Steven's A-list. Here's the deal. The list is fluid.
I know it's fluid. I know all of that.
I'm glad it's fluid.
I think he's confused.
The list is fluid. It's fluid. It's fluid.
Only recency bias, Batman.
Because you done lost your mind.
If it's so fluid, how are we not considering the Bills?
You can come back because the list is fluid.
You know how he gets away with all of it? It's fluid, man. It's fluid.
You're biased, Jeff Saturday. You're biased.
You can do what you need to do. It's your list.
This list is banana.
It's fluid. It's fluid. That's right. That's right. It's fluid, okay? It's fluid, but it don't matter. It don't need to be. It's time for Steven's A-list. My top 5 NFL teams following week 5. Y'all ready for this?
Well,
Are you ready for this? Let's get it on. Give me number 5, please. Put it up there for me right now. Bam! The Baltimore Ravens. Why? That brother Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Ain't he something special? That's what Keyshawn been saying. That's what Mina Khan's been saying. That's what everybody's been saying. And we see that cats are not dropping the football, and the defense is real. We'll ignore the first 2 weeks of the season. They did hold the Los Angeles Chargers to 6 points. Yes. I understand they had to make a West Coast trip or all across the country to the East Coast, playing at 10 a.m. in the morning their time. It was a little adjustment for them. They wasn't ready, but the bottom line is the Ravens handled their business. I got to put them at number 5. Give me number 4, please. Give it to me right now. The reigning defending Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why? We saw what Tom Brady has been doing. We see Antonio Brown coming on. We know Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and the boys are there. Leonard Fournette is there as well. Defense still injury prone. Got to come together. But the bottom line is 5-1. 5-1. I can't put them any higher than 4 when I got the blowout loss to the Los Angeles Rams. I'm holding that against them, but they still top 5. Let's go to number 3 on the list, please. Give it to me. Bam! The Rams. That's why I couldn't put the Bucs at number 3, because the Rams are there. You got Matthew Stafford handling his business. Granted, they got a virtual bye week. They went against the Giants. You know what that's going to come with that. We understand that. But Matthew Stafford slinging that football. Woods, Cooper Kupp, utilizing those brothers. We see what they're bringing to the table. I like what I'm seeing, and the defense is there. And Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, clearly they made the right move by getting rid of Jared Goff. We can all admit that. They're number 3. Give me number 2 on the list, please. Give it to me right now. The Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Why? Because you didn't expect me to be objective, but I am objective. Even though they were going against the New England Patriots, who are not what they used to be, in the end, the offense looks absolutely lethal. Dak Prescott is a candidate for league MVP. Trayvon Diggs is the defensive player of the year thus far, even though TJ Watt is coming. The bottom line is when you look on both sides of the ball and what they're bringing to the table, you can't argue with this. And I'm telling you something else you can't argue with. Keyshawn, Jeff Saturday. Give me number 1, please. The Arizona Cardinals. Why? Because Kyler Murray is that dude. DeAndre Hopkins ain't even get loose yet. AJ Green has been resurrected. The defense is opportunistic, and they are the lone undefeated team in the entire NFL. I got Arizona, I got the Cowboys, I got the Los Angeles Rams, I got the reigning defending champion Buccaneers, and I got the Baltimore Ravens. My top 5. A-list, Steven's A-list. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all on this one. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Floor's yours.
It's actually a pretty decent list.
Yeah, fine.
This is what I would say, though. You're off Aaron Rodgers' Christmas list. All right, you go.
Yes.
Because what happened to the bad man?
Yes.
So here's my question.
They're running the ball.
If they're all signing up and they're all going to play each other, are you taking these QBs over your bad man?
No, the list is fluid.
No, it's fluid.
It's fluid.
You better jump in fluid.
It's fluid.
You just saw what Aaron Rodgers did. He just did all this in Chicago.
Chicago, I own you. I still own you.
You better stay on his good side.
That's right.
You better stay on his good side. He needs to be up in this list somewhere. I would actually.
Well, he got to come on first take. He got to stop doing this Pat McAfee all the time. He got to come on first take.
I would take the Rams. I would actually take the Rams off, and I would put Green Bay up there.
What?
And I would keep. Yes, I would. I would just tell you when I look at Green Bay Packers. When I look at them as a squad, I would put them up there. I just think when you start talking about QBs and what they can do, I like Matt Stafford. He's got to show me in the big time. Got to show me in the big time right now.
But it's week 5, week 6 of the season.
It's fluid. It's fluid. That's why I'm saying it's fluid. But I still got to put, as hot as Aaron Rodgers has been playing since week 1, I'm going to have to put them up in there.
Yeah, the only problem, and I'm kind of with Jeff, and we ain't teaming up on you. 3, I saw him this weekend against the Giants. They did the Giants what they should have did. Kick them and hold them down. There's no question about it.
Okay.
But Aaron Rodgers and then Sean McVay, when it gets tough, sometimes Sean McVay game planning and calling plays in game is a little suspect to me. Aaron Rodgers got to be on this list. I don't give a damn if you put a slash right there.
My issue with Green Bay right now is their winning game. I'm looking at. I thought about that. Okay, because I can't move the Bucs. I got to give the Ravens their props. But when it came to the Packers, all I was thinking about was the week before, it took you overtime to take Cincinnati out. And then
it's week to week. What are you doing the week before?
And then this week.
This team that you got number 1 struggled against Jacksonville to the end.
I understand that, but they're undefeated. But what I'm saying to you is I'm looking at them and I'm saying, all right, that bad man throwing for under 200 yards. He's throwing dimes when he needs to, no question about it. But it's not like he's been prolific. He hasn't had to be. They're running the ball.
You just don't like him running it. That's what you're basically saying.
And at number 5, you question the Ravens. You question it. You've been questioning it.
Postseason.
No.
It's a regular season.
You've been questioning trying to get away with that.
It's week 6 regular season.
Let me ask you this. Where were the Bills last week? Where did you have the Bills last week?
I forgot where I had them, but they were top 5. They got to fall out of the top 5.
I thought
they lost to Tennessee.
Were they?
No, they were never number 1. Cardinals and Cowboys have been 1 or 2 the last couple
I'm just making sure because I know the Bills were up there. There's no recency bias.
The list is fine, and I agree with Jeff when you start to look at the quarterback.
Okay.
Outside of Tom Brady, these other dudes haven't proved anything in the postseason when you're going up against Aaron Rodgers.
All right.
That's,
once the postseason starts, now you start projecting about the Super Bowl aspirations, stuff like that, and that comes into consideration.
And you'll kick out the Ravens.
Why are you going week to week?
Are you going to kick out the Ravens if it gets to postseason?
I might. It depends on what I see. It depends on what I see.
Stephen, it's good, but there's a lot of inconsistency, a lot of hypocrisy throughout the show. You know, top of the show, giving Lamar a hard time, then you love
giving Lamar a hard time.
Molly, there's not a common thread. He doesn't stick with a common thread.
And he tries to use the postseason as a deflection.
I just want you to think about that moving forward, being a little more consistent throughout the show.
No. It's fluid.
Just think about it.
The show is fluid.
On Thursday, the host of NBA Today, Malik, huge night as NBA season tips off, and we now welcome in Malika Andrews, host of ESPN's new show, NBA Today. And Malika, you always look beautiful, but I see you got your hair did, looking extra cute today, ready to go for tip-off. Thank you so much for being with us, and huge congrats on the new show. You've obviously done an excellent job reporting as well, but much deserved. We're excited about it.
Much deserved.
Thanks so much. I had to dress up for Stephen A today, get my hair done, because he always has his done.
I wish.
There we go. Shots fired out the gate, Malika. All right. I want to start with you on this. What do you think the Nets ceiling is without Kyrie Irving?
Oh, it's still pretty high, right? When you have Kevin Durant and James Harden on your team, you're doing pretty well. And the Vegas odds still have them near the tippy top. The challenge for them is going to be whether or not they can push aside all this drama, right? That I know Stephen A has touched on a whole bunch. If they can push all of that aside and focus. Kevin Durant has told me he is coming into this season with unfinished business to avenge. And Kendrick Perkins said from being in that locker room, when Kevin Durant says something like that, that's when he plays like an MVP. So the Nets, they still have a pretty good chance here, but the Bucks, they may have a little something to say about that.
Interesting. I totally agree with you. I've got them winning the championship even without Kyrie Irving, to be quite honest with you. Yes, I do. But I will say this. if there's one thing everybody needs to watch out for, I don't believe that Kyrie Irving is going to sit out for the whole season. I think that ultimately Kyrie Irving is going to come back. He can sit up there and stick out his chest and bloviate and talk all he wants to. There's $35 million on the table. I ain't passing that up. I don't believe it for 1 second. Eventually, he will come back. But when you come back, what kind of attitude are you going to have? How much are you going to care? And how much are you going to be able to shove aside everything to just ball and not be any kind of distraction? Because his mere presence alone is going to invite distraction, because he's going to be incredibly annoyed because the media is going to be asking them about that stuff all year because of the kind of noise he's created.
See, I think Stephen A. and Malika, one thing for the Nets is they can push that noise aside until it happens. When he starts to make a decision on whether or not he's coming back, because he's on the sideline right now and they're pushing forward. And as they win games, nobody will ever answer. If they get into a bad run, Malika, where all of a sudden you look up and they're losing 3 of 5 and or losing 2 or 3 in a row, then the conversation will come up. What if you had Kyrie? Would it be this way? As long as they're winning, I think people will kind of push their Kyrie stuff aside until such due time that he decides he wants to come back.
Yeah.
All right, Malika, let me ask you this. Giannis got a jumper. Should the Bucks be the favorites?
Well, if they're the favorites, it's not because of his jumper, Molly. And that's no disrespect to the work that he's put in. He has worked incredibly hard. He went 17 of 19 from the free throw line in Game 6, which was a huge improvement from the 1, 2, 3 that we heard. But that shot right there, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he wants to hit those, but he knows that that's not his game. If they are the favorites, Molly, it is because they have cleared a mental hurdle. In 2018, when they were getting down to the Raptors, they were being outplayed. They lost mental control. To me, what I saw last year is them clear this place that they hadn't been able to before. And so the Bucks, the Nets have this drama. We are a locked-in team. We have an identity on the defensive end with Drew Holiday, but it's not the jumper that's making me say that, yes, the Bucks are going to be the ones that are going to challenge the Nets at the top of the Eastern Conference, very likely.
Well, I'm glad it's not what's convincing you, because I'm not convinced he has a jump shot. As far as I'm concerned, the game.
Guys, it was kind of a joke. Everyone's taking it so literal.
No, I'm saying he has been working. Well, let me
Free
say
throws
this.
aren't a joke.
Well, let me say this to you. The reason why we take it seriously, Molly, is because, A, he's proven that he works on his game every day.
Yes, absolutely.
And if he's working on it that hard, then you know he's going to be better. I'm just saying that in the throes of competition, I have to see it to believe it, because he's so dominant in other aspects that shooting jump shots might take away from what he normally wants to do, and you never know what level of patience he'll be able to exercise in that regard. Having said all of that, they do have something to prove. There are a lot of people that are running around acknowledging that if Kyrie Irving had not gotten hurt, the Milwaukee Bucks wouldn't be champions. Yeah. So they've got that to prove.
Okay. A couple more things I want to get to. Malika, how much pressure is on Russell Westbrook this season, now that he's with the Lakers?
You know, I don't think that it's all on Russell Westbrook. And yes, I know there are the discussions that are going around of, okay, how much does he need the ball? What about his three-point shooting? Is that going to create enough space for LeBron? But I'm looking at Anthony Davis here. He missed 30 games after hurting his Achilles in mid-February, but they were 15-5 in games where AD scored 25 or more points. And they were 23-13 in the regular season when he played. And without him, they were 19-17, which is the same win percentage as the number 9 Grizzlies. So when I look back to when they won the championship in the bubble, and that was a tough championship to win for a variety of different reasons, it was Anthony Davis who people were looking around and saying, whoa, is he going to be the finals MVP instead of LeBron James? And so he knows, and he knows that he needs to go into this season and have that sort of play. Russell Westbrook, they brought in to take some minutes off of LeBron. It's going to be interesting to watch him, but I'm looking at Anthony Davis as the person who potentially has more pressure on him.
You know, talking to Westbrook this offseason and knowing that he feels a certain way about the way people think about his play on the court, he certainly understands he's there to take that pressure, much like you said, Malika, off of LeBron James and just basically contribute at a level that will help bring a championship back to LA. He's not worried and getting caught up in triple doubles or anything of that nature. He knows that everything's going to go through LeBron at the end of the day when LeBron's on the floor with him.
Russell Westbrook is a high-end competitor. He's a warrior. He's a superstar in this league, and his character should never be questioned. Having said all of that, it is important to remind people of this. Russell Westbrook has Kevin Durant, James Harden twice, Victor Oladipo, Paul George, Bradley Beal, and now LeBron James and Anthony Davis as teammates and has 0 championships to show for it. So this year, with LeBron and AD as his teammates, there is going to be some pressure on him to show up and show out because you know if he does, they should win it all.
Yeah, Stephen A., but you go back to OKC days, they were young, man.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, they were young.
No, I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying, as a resume, when you reflect on the career of Russell Westbrook, you're going to look at all of those teammates and you're going to ask, do you have a chip to show for it? That's where the pressure comes from, and that's what he's going to have to answer to with the Lakers now because this is his best chance to win a championship.
We got this, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay, just like your Dodgers. Atlanta owning you. Malika, I'm focused on Malika. This isn't about you, okay? Malika, Kendrick Perkins, his jump shot.
Oh.
How'd you feel about that?
Oh boy. I mean, it should have been Richard. Kendrick, I love you, but Candace, Queen Candace, it should have been played by Richard because Richard nailed this in rehearsals. I promise. Kendrick, we love you. Stephen A., can you do it better?
That's an NBA guy?
That's a champion.
NBA
That's
champion.
NBA champion. My God, Kendrick Perkins.
May I come to the defense of my brother Kendrick Perkins?
Oh.
Kendrick Perkins never, ever in his career was accused of being a scorer.
Doesn't matter.
Ever. That's not what he does. He was an enforcer.
Stephen A.
I'm just saying.
Do you think Kendrick Perkins has never taken a jump shot in his life between high school, college, and the NBA?
All right, we're going to give him another chance. We're going to give him another chance.
Can I answer that question?
Come on, man, stop.
Malika, thank you so much. NBA Today on ESPN 3 Eastern. Malika Andrews, the host. Check it out. Malika, see what I deal with? You're going to have to deal with this with the guys.
My goodness, I got Richard and Perk. Best of luck.
Yeah, exactly. We can talk.
Richard Jefferson.
All right, you're going to crush it and have a great season. We'll all be watching.
Thank you so much, guys.
Okay. Now we want to transition here and wish our best to our good friend, Dick Vitale, who had lymphoma. He will be in my prayers every day. Stephen A., I know you guys were close. Your reaction?
Well, we are close, and he's a wonderful, wonderful man. And, you know, he is ESPN. When you think about the fact that he arrived at 79, right after ESPN came to be, he's been here since the beginning. And, you know, he has everything to do with ESPN being the worldwide leader and being the global brand that it is. Dick Vitale is synonymous with this place. And so all of us here and what we've been able to enjoy being a part of this family has been a byproduct of the things that he accomplished and helped build this company into being. And so our hearts go out to him and his wonderful family. My prayers are with you, my brother, and all the great work that he's done with the Dickie V Foundation and the Jimmy V Foundation. You know, the wonderful.
Can I mention something
he's
about
just
that
been wonderful.
really quickly?
Yeah.
And I know we have to get into a commercial break. Obviously, I know what he means to ESPN. I know what he means to basketball. This man with the V Foundation has raised $260 million for cancer research. Can we just applaud that for a moment? That is absolutely incredible. And we know how busy he is in his schedule to make the time to do that.
Yes.
And that's a real legacy.
That's right.
The NBA season tips off tonight in the nightcap. The Warriors are in Los Angeles to take on LeBron, AD, Russ, Melo, and the new look Lakers. Here's LeBron on what's motivating him this season. Check it out.
Just motivated to have an opportunity to win a championship. That's why I play the game. It's one of the greatest, shortest feelings that you have. You win a championship and everything that you put into that year just hits you all at once. And literally like a couple hours later, it's like, it's over. And you just, the whole time, you're just trying to figure out how can you get that moment again. Seriously. And that's part of my motivation still, just always trying to, you know, get that feeling.
Keishan, I'm going to ask you a question. I feel like there's really two angles you could go here. So if he wins another title, what does it mean for his basketball legacy? But then it's also his Lakers legacy. So go wherever you want with it, because I almost feel like it's two different discussions, the Lakers pantheon and then that whole MJ LeBron debate.
Look, I've always been one that I enjoy greatness. Okay, there's going to be a conversation LeBron, Michael Jordan. But you can't even have an NBA conversation to start with if you can't talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You might be too young to see Kareem play.
Yeah.
I was young enough to see him play. Toward the end of his career, he still had dominant years. You can't start that conversation without mentioning him. I get it. Michael Jordan changed the whole way we look at basketball and the tennis shoe game and all those sort of things. And LeBron is doing what he does. I don't put them against each other. I know a lot of people want to do that. I will never do that because Magic can be in that conversation as far as I'm concerned. Now, when you talk about from a Lakers standpoint, he get another championship in LA. He can maybe get a statue on the backside of Staples over there on the other side, not in the plaza level where everybody's at, but on the backside. He get 3, he goes in front with everybody. That's the way I look at his Laker legacy because when LeBron first came out in this situation and we were talking about getting him, I really didn't want him. I did not, and that sounds crazy, right, Stephen A?
It is crazy.
I was like, man, I don't want LeBron. And the reason it's not anything personal because he's a friend of mine. I didn't want him because I am a Kobe guy. And I didn't want him threatening the legacy of Kobe Bryant. Right. But I take him full now. That's my dude now. I'm riding with him.
There's nothing that's going to threaten the legacy of Kobe Bryant. I can tell you that. That's number one. But number two, when people ask me what a 5th ring would mean for LeBron James, I say not much.
Not much.
And here's the reason why not much. He's already on the Mount Rushmore of basketball.
Already.
Where's he going? I mean, he's already, I'm telling you right now, the NBA, this is their 75th anniversary season. There has not been 3 players on a complete level better than LeBron James in the history of basketball. He's already there. And when we talk about Michael Jordan, and we talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 19-time All-Star.
Yes.
All right, 6-time champion, 6-time MVP. Obviously surefire Hall of Famer. The greatest scorer in the history of basketball. And by the way, the only individual in the history of the game with one unstoppable move. Nobody else, Skyhook, nobody else in the history of basketball has ever had one unstoppable move other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Period. And so when we look at it from that perspective, all I'm saying to you is that Kareem is up there, but I look at the versatility of a LeBron James, not needing. Kareem 7'2".
But it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen.
Exactly. But LeBron is 6'9". What he could do on both ends of the floor, what he could do in the perimeter, in the interior, in the open court, et cetera, et cetera. I just have MJ number 1. LeBron James number 2, and because of that, a 5th ring wouldn't change that.
It does narrow the ring count. And do you have LeBron on the Mount Rushmore of LA Laker greats already?
Well, when you talk about, hold on, wait a minute. The only reason is because he's only been there for.
So let me lead this debate. Let me get it in my mind real quick.
Magic,
Jerry West, Kobe.
Yeah.
Kareem. Shaq, Big Game James.
No, let me say this to you. Let me say
I'm saying
you've
is that pushing over into that conversation
You've got to put Shaq
in the cap. Kareem, Magic, Kobe. There's one spot left. You take that spot from Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Will Chamberlain. You take it from them.
You can because A,
guys,
LeBron is better than them, and number 2, it's only 4 spots. It's not a 5th spot. It's 4 on record.
Oh, 4. I'm tripping. Yeah,
but you got to remember. The most important thing you got to remember: LeBron already has as many rings as in LA as Jerry West. So the point is, Jerry West is the silhouette. We get all of that, but even Jerry West would tell you he can't come before LeBron. He'd tell you that. So I'm just telling you.
Even if we throw in a little things that he's done as a general manager, we can't put that in there.
That's different. But if you talk about just as a player, Jerry West has 1 ring. Damn. LeBron already has 1 ring.
I know.
You know what's kind of sad? I'm not about to go take my walk on Santa Monica Pier, but that's okay. That's another personal story.
I figured you'd bring that up.
Y'all look golden. You guys must have been in LA.
Oh, we had
y'all
a good
look very
time.
golden.
We had a good time.
Yeah, it was nice.
Hey,
It was nice.
Speaking of LA.
Dodgers, let's go.
You nervous?
No, Walker Buehler on the mound. Walker Buehler's on the mound tonight. We good, man. We should be all right.
You should be nervous.
No.